Hello, Motor Rider World fans. Just a quick review and debrief from Friday at the Estoril track out in Portugal for World Superbike action. Great to be at a World Superbike event after all the MotoGPs this year. The atmosphere is it's not as stressful. It's not as, you don't feel like there's a Dorna official on your shoulder asking you for your pass and making sure you've got the right pass and are you allowed to be here and you're not allowed doing this and you're not allowed doing that. It's just a lot more like chilled, a much more chilled environment. Not a lot of spectators at all today. It was pretty dead, to be honest. So hopefully there's going to be more spectators as the weekend goes. Normally Saturday and Sunday with World Superbikes are the busier days, not so much Friday just for the free practice sessions. But yeah, a lot more chilled, a lot more relaxed. The riders and everyone just walk around very calmly. It's very easy to have a chat with them, get stuff signed. It's all very laid back compared to MotoGP. So that was really cool. At the end of the day, got to climb into the official debriefs from each rider. First up was Johnny Ray talking in the media center, and he was just saying, well, one of the first questions that were posed to him was the whole top rack situation from Assen. Has that kind of calmed down now, and how's that feeling? He already addressed this question on the Thursday, but a journalist brought it up again, and he just said, it was basically Dorna trying to just sell newspapers again, just trying to cause a row between him, trying to blow up the scene more than it actually was. He said he came on the Thursday, he was 5 minutes late for his debrief. They then held Top Rack back for 5 minutes so that they would both be in there at the same time, waiting for this pressure cooker to boil over. And he said it wasn't like that at all. They both obviously at the time it happened, and for the rest of that day and maybe the day after, tensions were high. But he said, there was, I don't want to say there was no hard feelings, but he said at the end of the day, and these were his words, we both realized that it was a racing incident. He's there as a racer and I'm there as a racer, and that's just how it turned out. Straight after that, it was a high five. It was messages on the Thursday at Estoril. All is kind of forgiven. Let's concentrate. Let's go race. He's a racer. I'm a racer. So all is forgotten. It was really Johnny Ray he literally used those words that Dorna were trying to hype up something that wasn't really there, as bad as they were making it seem. So yeah, that's all swept under the rug. All is good there. And then Johnny was just talking about his first session. He used the hard rear tire because they've lost one tire for this year out of their tire allocation. So they've really got to manage the tires well, because they've lost one out of the allocation. So they've really got to be specific on which tire they use when and what and how, and how they're going to manage it for the races and that. So he said he put the hard one on for the FP1 just to clean the track up. So that's why he wasn't spectacularly fast in FP1. FP2, he said he had a great feeling. The team worked with the bike, had a really good setup, but just lacking that final extra pace. When he saw Top Rack do a 36.2, he was like, okay, let's give it one more go. And he said he just couldn't get there. Just lacking a bit with top end speed. He said that's going to be his biggest handbrake this weekend for sure, especially against Alvaro Bautista with the Ducati down the straight. A couple of journalists asked him, what would you like changed with the Kawasaki component wise. He said it maybe like a stiffer swing arm, stiffer components in parts of the bike, but what it is. They've got the bike, they're working hard, got a much better front end feeling. And just watching him on the side of the track, Johnny Ray, the way he just goes from flat out to jamming on those brakes and loading that front end it's spectacular to see on TV. To see it from the side of the track is just like you just can't believe. You keep watching him thinking there's no ways you're going to keep that all in check. He keeps it in check. Then you're thinking there's no ways you're going to make that corner, and he makes the corner. So spectacular to watch. Gets in the corner, gets on the gas. The Kawasaki sounds like it's on the traction control for a very long time. It just pops and gurgles for a long time before it actually releases. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but yeah, Johnny said he's happy overall. He said it's going to be a hard race to manage the tires and stuff. So it's really going to be about strategies, and his strategy is to take advantage of the new tire as much as possible, because once that new tire kind of feeling is gone, it's going to be a dogfight. And he said that Ducati at the moment has the upper hand with that long straight and that extra top speed that the Kawasaki just doesn't have. So let's see how the weekend plays out, or Saturday certainly plays out for Johnny Ray. But he seems upbeat. seems happy, and he just knows it's going to be a real dogfight. Then next we spoke to Alvaro Bautista. Alvaro, this is his first time at Estoril on the Ducati. He's been there the last 2 years on the Honda, so he said, it was all kind of new for him in a way. Went out first session with the Aston setup and the gearing wasn't quite right. FP2 played with gearing, was happy with that. Said he felt really good. He said his overall race pace, his longer runs felt a lot better than the Fost, the one-off Fost lap times. So he's feeling really good for the race. Says he would like a little bit more time, a little bit more data. So maybe race one might not be there, but I think that was just a mental thing, because watching him from the side of the track as well, he is just cool, calm, and collected. While Toprak and Johnny and Garrett Gerloff and the other guys are out of shape, but it's controlled out of shape and they make it work. Alvaro is just this precise, and that Ducati just jumps out of those corners with Alvaro on it. He just leaps out of those corners, and that thing just gets going. And when it gets going, it just sounds beautiful. Said the Kawasaki holds back a lot on the traction. It sounds like to me the Ducati doesn't. The Ducati releases a lot earlier from what I can hear on the side of the track. So I think Alvaro is going to be a very good bet for some good results this weekend. Couple of wins, if not all of the wins, for sure. He's going to use that extra power from the Ducati down that long straight. So yeah, he's quietly confident, that's for sure. Up next was Garrett Gerloff. Had a really good day. Ended up P3 overall in the combined times, pipping Johnny Ray there at the end. And he said, yeah, he's happy, feeling good. He loves the track. Doesn't feel like he's riding or doing anything differently. He just really loves this track. Remember, 2020 was when he really shone in World Superbikes, and it was at this track. And he just says, he's really happy. A question came up about a Dossely from Yamaha. If Toprak does go to MotoGP, would Garrett like to take Toprak's ride in that Yamaha team? And he said, I'm not even thinking about that. I know my performances and my results have got to get better before I even think of that. So yeah, just focusing on my work. Feels like he's got a good setup. But yeah, he wants these good practice positions to turn into good race results. He knows it's going to be a real uphill challenge to try and stay with the likes of Toprak, Johnny and Alvaro, but if he can be in the mix there, he's got Locatelli and Rinaldi for company. Javi Vieira wasn't too far away as well, so he knows it's going to be a good hard race, but he just wants to get a good result. He really wants to just have a good race and be right up in the mix. So I had a chat with him afterwards, because I'm wearing my Brandon Cretu Isle of Man t-shirt, of course, the American going to race over in Isle of Man. So we had a good chat about that. Awesome guy, all amazing guys, to be honest. So Alvaro seemed like a bit more standoffish compared to the others. Johnny, Toprak especially. The first time I've ever really got to meet him and see him and spend time, and he's very, very accommodating. Him and that whole Pata Yamaha team, including Johnny Ray, Alex Lowe's, and that whole Kawasaki team, really just so accommodating. So it's been awesome. Got some really nice signed stuff that I'm going to be bringing back to the UK and SA for online auction sales, so keep a lookout for that. Then it was Toprak up next, and he just a lot of questions came his way about, Kenan Sofoglu came out and criticized him a bit for the old Toprak not being there, and he came out and he said, listen, I've been very stressed from race one with the number one on, changing from 54 to number one. I felt the stress in the first couple of races, and Aragon and Assen is not really my kind of track. Estoril's my kind of track, but he said I was coming in after every session, and if I wasn't on top, I was upset and I was angry, and I'm world champion, I must be at the top. And he said he's gone off now for this couple of week break that they've had, changed his training up a bit, hasn't ridden a motorbike. He's come back a lot fresher, no more stress, and he's just riding again to have fun. And I could see it out on track. He was, oh man, Toprak is spectacular on TV, but in the flesh, watching that guy on that Yamaha one is simply spectacular. How he gets that thing jammed. And again, you just think, wow, that's very cute, Toprak, but there's no ways you're keeping that in check and stopping that bike. And he just keeps it all together and gets it in the corner. It just looks like he's going to go over the bars and it's going to go all tits up, and he just gathers it all up and controls it. It's this controlled chaos from Toprak, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch. So he says, he's having fun again. He's not looking at the timesheets. His rhythm feels good. His pace feels good. He wants to change one or two things. Still not happy under full braking. The electronics feel a lot better. But he's ready to race. He's ready to give it a good go this weekend. So it was great to see Toprak happy again. He said he has been stressed, has been feeling the pressure, but now it's all off and he just wants to go and ride and have fun again. The MotoGP question, of course, came up. said, so when are you riding the MotoGP bike, and when and where? And he said, in June, and I know where. And we all had a chuckle, and they said, so where is it? So he says, well, I know where, and you'll know where in June. So yeah, he's such a cool guy, such a cool character. He really is a cool character. And then he went on and saying, it depends how the test goes with his MotoGP ride. If he really enjoys it, obviously he must think about it. If he doesn't, then he must think about it as well. So not thinking too much about that. He really just wants to focus on World Superbikes, the job he's got there. He really wants to win the title again this year, have that number one plate. That is his main focus. Again, overthinking about MotoGP, but yeah, it was a good comedic session with a lot of these riders. Really nice, fun, kind of friendly. All the journalists just gather around the riders, ask your questions, and off you go. So a lot less scripted compared to MotoGP. Let's just say that. Very, very accommodating, and it was awesome hanging out with them. And yeah, Toprak also just happy and ready to go for the weekend. So let's see what happens. That is Friday in Estoril, Portugal. I'll keep you up to date with Saturday after race one, and how the rest of the weekend goes.